In 2022, I experienced one of the best days of my life. A friend of mine who was a Catholic Christian accepted Islam, and Alhamdulillah, I was honored to have played a direct role in that journey. I remember coming home to my family that day completely overwhelmed with happiness, almost shouting out of excitement, and I ran upstairs to my room to pray to Allah to express gratitude to Him. Everything seemed perfect, life was going good, I was getting closer to Allah, at least I thought so. And then something changed. Something very unexpected happened. A few months later, Ramadan approached, and my iman dipped to the lowest point it had ever been in. Suddenly I was having serious doubts about Islam. Questions came up in my mind that I had never thought of before. I questioned everything, became very critical of my beliefs. I questioned everything. I remember going to pray Taraweeh and not even being able to finish it. I was trying to pray, but then I just started crying all of a sudden and went back home. And I remember asking myself this one question again and again. How did I get here? How does someone go from helping someone else accept Islam to losing a lot of their own iman? And that's when I realized something that nobody talks about when it comes to finding God. And that is, you may be born Muslim, but you still have to find Islam for yourself. You see, my whole life I was a Muslim by identity. But being born into a Muslim family doesn't mean that you understand your religion. Doesn't mean that you know why you believe the things you do believe in. I didn't know what it truly meant to be a Muslim. Not just someone who believed in Allah, but someone who knew what it truly meant to submit to Him. I didn't know why we were created, what our purpose was in life, or who even Allah truly was. And when those questions all of a sudden hit me for once in my life, I felt completely lost, overwhelmed by doubts. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He didn't abandon me. He found me lost and He guided me. Why? Because of a promise that He has made in the Quran. With it, the Quran, Allah guides those who pursue His pleasure to the ways of peace and brings them out from darkness into the light by His permission and guides them to a straight path. Surah Al-Ma'idah. Guidance comes to the Quran. The Quran, I had to turn to the Quran. But the thing is, guidance doesn't come to someone who's passive. It comes to someone who is actively seeking the truth. When those doubts, they hit me, I didn't just sit there. I had no option but to find the answer because I knew I was gonna die one day. What if there's a religion out there that's the truth? That's the question I had in my mind. So I didn't run from the doubts. I faced them head on. I started studying. I remember watching countless debates and lectures about religions and Islam online. I remember obsessively writing down pages upon pages, and I still have those pages, comparing different belief systems with Islam to try to find out what made sense and what didn't. I really wanted the truth wherever it was, and every road kept bringing me back to the Quran. The deeper I studied, the closer I came to the realization that Islam is the truth. The more sense Islam made, my questions started to become answered the more I sought knowledge. Confusion started to clear away, and my conviction that Islam is the truth became stronger than ever before. Why? Because the promise of Allah is true. And that's what I want you to take away from this video. If you are overwhelmed by doubts, if you're drowning in confusion, you don't know what is true and what is not, then I urge you to seek knowledge. Because guidance doesn't come to the one who sits idle, who sits stuck. Seek knowledge. Learn why you believe in Islam. Learn why Islam is the truth. Learn why it prevails over other religions. Learn who Allah is and learn what it really means to be a Muslim. Because when knowledge enters the heart, faith becomes firm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. And I'm telling you, if you watching this video have an open heart to guidance and you sincerely ask Allah to guide you, I promise you He will find a way for you, because He did for me. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide every person watching this video, to break us free of doubts and to give us firm conviction that Islam is the truth. And Allah, do not turn our hearts away from the truth once you have guided them towards it. And I pray to Allah to bring us out of the darkness of ignorance into the light of knowledge and righteous actions. Ameen. If you are a young Muslim watching this video and you feel like you relate to what I said, then I'm building a community of Muslims just like you who want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grow in their deen, seek knowledge, and be surrounded by like-minded Muslims who want to help each other improve for the sake of Allah. If that's you, then the Instagram page is linked in the description, and also subscribe for more. Assalamu alaikum.